Hi, I'm Jim Moran with Wasabi Sushi and Martini Bar. I'm here today with John Greenway with the Freewheel Foundation and the Ride 430 Challenge. How you doing today, John?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Tell us a little bit about the Freewheel Foundation and the Ride 430 Challenge for wounded war veterans.
Okay. The Freewheel Foundation is an organization that actually sponsors the Ride 430 Challenge and various other events we do during the year that raises money and awareness for not just injured veterans, but also their families. Our job or our objective or mission really is to raise funds and awareness so that we can, if you will, fill the gaps that don't always get taken care of by the government. Okay. So financial gaps, we provide adaptive sports equipment, computers, we can help with education, just anything where there's a gap and where there's a need, we'll try to fill that so that they can focus just on that road to recovery. Or in the case of one of the charities that we're helping this year, focus on getting through a stage of life that is kind of surrounded by grief. And so we help that along if we can.
So you're helping children whose parents were killed in combat?
That's correct. Originally, when we started out, our mission was really to help just injured Marines that had either been hurt in battle or suffering from some type of illness. Could be battle related or not. As time has moved on, we begin to branch out because one of the things that we found out is while we certainly have to take care of our wounded, there is no question about that. The truth is that when somebody deploys to battle or they go to war, the whole family becomes deployed.
Absolutely.
And the family become a very big part of that. And when a child or a mother or a spouse or a brother or sister, doesn't matter, when they lose somebody in battle overseas, it's a grief that very few people understand. And there's just certain things that we can do to help them through that. And in this case, we met a group of Air Force officers who started a camp in Colorado Springs. And for 6 days every summer, they take 60, 70, 80 kids to camp. Every one of those kids gets a mentor. Those kids get to, for 6 days, just do nothing but have fun and be with other kids that understand what they've been through, have a mentor they can talk to, and hopefully escape grief for 6 days and just get to be a kid. And we are incredibly proud and honored to be a part of that.
That's absolutely amazing. So how did this Ride 430 Challenge, how did this come about? How did you get involved with this, John?
It's kind of an interesting story. In 2007, I got a phone call from my nephew, who is Corporal Jeff Turnage, and he is in the United States Marine Corps. And he had called me and asked me to come to his Marine Corps graduation. And it's funny because I tell people now when I talk about this that I almost let the background noise of life interfere with what has been the greatest opportunity, without a doubt, of my entire lifetime. I was convinced that I was so busy, I couldn't possibly take off an entire weekend to go see something like that. And what I found out later is that going to a Marine Corps graduation is something that everybody ought to do. Not only will it give you an incredible feeling of patriotism, but I think what you'll also see is some of the finest young people that America has to offer. And when I went there that weekend to see my nephew, I came to the realization, as did I'm sure everybody in that audience, that every kid out there was getting ready to make an unbelievable sacrifice. When I went, nearly every kid out there was either going to Iraq or Afghanistan. And as I looked out there, I can't help but think most people were thinking the same thing in the back of their mind, and that was every one of these kids is going to be dramatically changed from this experience. And there's going to be a certain number of those kids that will never come back to this place again. And my nephew, I had taught to ride a bike, I had taught to swim, I diapered the kid, and I just realized that if at 18 he can make that kind of sacrifice, I should be making a sacrifice as well. And so that weekend, just thinking about it nonstop, I came up with the idea that why not use my passion of cycling to raise money and to do something good. And so I decided that I would ride my bike from Mesa, Arizona to Camp Pendleton, and within weeks there was 20 other people that were crazy enough to do it with me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, you're absolutely correct. You think about the sacrifice that everyone in uniform makes, because everyone has volunteered during wartime.
Yep.
Knowing that there's a very good possibility that they're going to be going overseas, and as you said, going into battle. I mean, the sacrifice is unbelievable.
It is. It's amazing among these young people, the sacrifices that the families make along with this. It's just tremendous. You know, you look out over the parade deck and you see these kids out there that have turned into just unbelievable patriots. And you realize that when you look at them, they're not there for fame or glory or money, because there's none of that. They're there for love of country, love of God, love of family, and they're there because they're willing to do what a hero does, which is make a tremendous sacrifice for somebody else.
Absolutely.
And so this is really the least that we can do. And over the last 4 years, and now going into our 5th year, we have been joined now by hundreds of cyclists that have gone with us on our main event, which is the Bicycle Ride, or the Ride 430 Challenge. And we've been joined by thousands of donors and businesses like Blue Wasabi, who in a time of certainly difficult economic times have reached into their pockets and made a sacrifice anyway, without thinking about how it could impact themselves. So we're thrilled to be a part of that, and it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, I'm very excited that a mutual friend of ours introduced me to your challenge and your charity, and getting involved has been the last few weeks. Just the excitement level that I have for this is spectacular. Unfortunately, I can't do the whole ride this year, but I am going to join you on day one and ride out to Western Arizona with you, and look forward to doing some really good fundraising and having some charity events here at Blue Wasabi.
Well, the good thing is with you doing one day, we'll be putting you on the front, so you'll be doing all the pulling.
I'll push all the way in,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. It's a great event, and it's an epic challenge for people both physically, I think, as well as mentally, because on the ride, one of the things that we do is we're joined each year by injured Marines. By people that have made that sacrifice. People that, in one case, we had one young man with us this year, and if you look on our website, you'll see a picture, and he's being pushed up a hill. That young man spent 2 years in the hospital, had to learn to walk again, had to learn to talk again, and he made that trip down that road to recovery. And it was made easier because of groups like the Injured Marine Semper Fi Fund, and groups like the MARSOC Foundation, who we work with, and the Freewheel Foundation. By people joining together, we're able to do things for those families so that when he is recovering, he is only thinking of that and not about the financial crisis that they may be going through or other difficulties. We had one young man with us who, probably one of the most inspirational things I've ever seen. When he came on the ride with us the first year, he's riding his bike, and he had an old heavy mountain bike. What we didn't understand was he had no motor control on the right side of his body. He had been hit by an IED. His parents told that he would never survive. Certainly never speak again or walk again. Of course, they didn't know Angel Gomez very well. Not only did he learn to speak again, but walk and then ride a bike.
Amazing.
I watched him pedal up a 13-mile mountain with one leg.
And it's unbelievable.
It really is. It's amazing.
Well, John, it's my pleasure. I'm really excited to be
Thank you
involved
so
with it
much.
this year, and look forward to working with you every year from here on out.
Well, thank you to the Blue Wasabi. Thank you to everybody that comes to Blue Wasabi and is going to participate in this. It's a great event. And the thing you need to know is no matter what your contribution is, whether you ride the bike, whether you donate, whether you come to Blue Wasabi and have dinner and some of those proceeds go to the foundation, you're part of the team. And we truly appreciate that, and we're honored to work with Blue Wasabi and all of our donors.
Appreciate that. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
So here at Blue Wasabi for the Ride 430 Challenge, what we're doing is in each location, both Scottsdale and Gilbert, we're going to be selling raffle tickets for a chance to win a custom labeled beach cruiser. And then on October 4th in Scottsdale, October 7th here in Gilbert, we're going to have an evening where we're going to be raffling off many other items that our vendors and our fellow merchants in each of the shopping centers that we're in have donated. We're going to be raffling those items off, and 100% of the proceeds from the raffles are going to be going straight to the Freewheel Foundation. And then we at Blue Wasabi are going to be donating 20% of the proceeds of all the food and beverage sales from those nights to the foundation as well. So come on down and join us at Blue Wasabi and support our wounded war veterans and the Ride 430 Challenge. Thank you.